Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar, run for the UKV, have a look at the precipitation and the temperature over the next 5 days, as we are going to see quite a showery outlook as we head through the rest of this week into the weekend at the start of the following week, and it is going to remain fairly chilly unfortunately. Now it's not going to be remarkably cold as we have been saying over the past few days, but it is definitely going to be below average for most. Where we see sunshine, still will feel decent, is of course early June, but not any summer warmth that I know many people will be after this time of year. Instead, it's more like spring sunshine with temperatures around the mid-teens, maybe higher teens the further southwards you go, maybe lower teens and even single digits the further northwards you go. You can see the live radar at the moment, got plenty of showers around, and it's going to remain like this over the next 5 days pretty persistently. Very few days are going to be very dry, but very few days are going to be much more unsettled than what we see at the moment. As we're into the longer range, we are still seeing this cooler outlook at least for the next week, maybe even towards the 10-day period, as the models keep pushing back the warm-up. The ensembles today are keeping us a good few degrees below average all the way towards around the 15th of June, so for a long stretch of this month unfortunately, and we could be seeing something a bit more unsettled arriving next week, maybe even a cut-off low moving in, which some of the models are hinting at today. But we'll have a look at that in more detail in the second half of the video. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, please do like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. Now, if you start on the live radar, you can see it's a fairly dry evening at the moment, but we still got these showers pushing in. Mostly rain, but I say mostly because there is in fact a bit of snow within them, especially over the higher ground of Scotland. We are seeing some winteriness in some of the heavier pulses. Again, not completely out of the ordinary for this time of year, but definitely is still not what we'd be expecting in June. You see the showers are most frequent further north and westward you go, closer to the source of moisture, with this wind direction coming in from the northwest. The further south you go, it is drier and it is inevitably slightly warmer. And if we put the temperatures on this evening, you see some yellows further southwards, so temperatures still in the double digits. Further northwards though, more blues, indicating temperatures more towards the single digits, and even some lighter blues indicating temperatures getting close to freezing over the higher ground of Scotland. So again, not completely out of the ordinary for early June, but still not what we would and should expect this time of year. Now you can see where the cold front is across parts of northern Europe. As you go into northern parts of France and Germany, it's chilly here as well. The further south and eastwards you head, the warmer it does get, with temperatures here towards the 20-degree mark. But you can see that cooler and colder air pushing in from the northwest for northern and western Europe. You can see the same for Norway up here, still pretty cold as well, with that cold air coming in from the northwest. Now, if you look at the latest UKV, you can see over the coming hours, we will still continue to see showers in places. Could push further southwards for a time through the morning, through Thursday morning that is, and through Thursday afternoon again. Another smattering of showers, nothing too heavy and nothing too widespread. As we head into Friday, could be a more extensive area of showers around through Friday morning, but that should break apart and move into the North Sea pretty swiftly through the day. And then again, another day of sunshine and showers again. Nothing too heavy, but not completely bone dry either. The same can be said as we head into Saturday. More showers around, but again, still pretty decent. And as we head into Sunday, a similar story. Maybe less showers on Sunday, but still very, very similar. And the same can be said for Monday. Maybe a bit more persistent rain in the southwest, maybe a few more heftier showers in the east, but broadly very, very similar. So yeah, not much of a change coming up from the latest UKV over the next 5 days. So we'll just have to wait and see what the rest of June has in store. Now the temperatures will be slowly climbing up over the next few days. You can see pretty chilly at the moment, but as we head towards the weekend, the upper air temperatures, especially in the south, will nudge up by a few degrees. Nothing substantial, but it may mean the highs will go from 16, 17 to maybe 18, 19 instead. So not a massive change, but slightly warmer than it's been today and been over the next few days. Now, it hasn't actually been too cold in the south today. I've been out and it's actually been fairly decent in the sunshine. Definitely a chill to the air when the wind does get going, but still fairly warm as we have had some really quite strong sunshine. So again, it's not amazingly cold, but it's just not the warmth or the humidity that we can see and sometimes expect to see this time in the year. Now, if you look at the max temperature, you see earlier today, only 17 or 18 in the far southeast, and the same could be said for tomorrow. Again, 18, 19 at best towards London, most other areas around the mid-teens or lower teens, or even single digits over the high ground of Scotland. Now, overnight into Friday, another chilly evening, mid to high single digits for most, and then as we head into Friday afternoon, nudging up even higher, maybe 18 or 19 in the south and the east, but still quite a bit colder in the north and the west. Saturday's very similar, again 18, 19, maybe a 20 in the far southeast corner. Elsewhere, again, mid to low teens. And as we head into Sunday, a similar picture, maybe slightly chillier with a bit more cloud and a few more showers around, but still nothing spectacular. And finally into Monday, a similar picture. Temperatures rising a bit more in the west, and that is because of a change in wind direction, more of a westerly tilt, which is allowing that milder air to push in for parts of the Republic of Ireland here, maybe southern Scotland and northern England as well. So I have to wait and see exactly for that, but definitely looks like it could be improving into next week with the temperatures, but it may go a little bit more unsettled, as we'll see now from the longer range charts. Now, if you start on the latest GFS, you can see the north and northwesterly wind pushing in at the moment. Chilly with that showery outlook. And that continues over the next couple of days before actually high pressure topples in into early next week, going drier for a time. But as we head towards day 8, day 9, could see more lower pressure pushing in, and then another potential blast of northerly winds. Again, not looking particularly great. Those northerly winds don't look particularly cold, but maybe the 0 degree isotherm getting in again for some, and then it generally remains fairly unsettled before right in the extended range start to see something a bit warmer and drier pushing in from the west. But GFS definitely on the more settled side of the models today. If you do compare to the GM, again, broadly similar with the north and northwesterly wind, higher pressure toppling in off the Atlantic, and then again, these lows pushing in. Look at day 10, starting to see lows sitting over the top of us, maybe a bit of a cut-off low developing, cooler air masses, but nothing amazingly cold. And then again, look at the precipitation, plenty of showers, and more widespread, heavier showers spiraling around, all due to the fact that low is sinking from the north, and again it could bring something more unsettled for us through the middle part of the month. Milder or slightly milder, but a little bit more unsettled. If you do compare to the ECMWF to finish off, you get northerly winds coming in, high pressure toppling, but then again seeing this low pushing in for day 10 and truly becoming cut off and sat over the top of us. Now the isopods are fairly stretched out, which will mean that the winds aren't amazingly strong. The pressure isn't ridiculously low, but because it is lower pressure, it is a trough, there will be showers around, and we can see that from the precipitation here. Lots of slow moving, hefty showers, and you see the accumulated precipitation starting to build up towards the end of this run quite quickly in the final sort of 36 hours or so, especially in the south there. So yeah, ECMWF and the GM pushing low pressure in next week. Yes, turning it slightly milder. If we look at the upper air temperatures, they are slightly milder than they are at the moment, especially further northwards, but it is going to be accompanied by more rain. So we're kind of reverting from cooler and drier to wetter but slightly warmer. Now we see this on the latest ensembles, well below average over the next week. For London, by a few degrees, further northwards, a bit more than that. You can see returns towards average in around 8 to 10 days' time, but we keep seeing that get pushed back. So again, don't take that as gospel at this stage. And you see, as we head into the middle part of next week, the precipitation does start to pick up, and again, that is signs that low pressure systems from the west and the north could be moving in. 2 meter temperatures aren't ridiculously cool, but again, looking at maybe mid to high teens at best. So again, not amazing, but not horrible. And then if we do compare finally to the ECMWF ensembles, broadly very similar, below average as we head towards the middle of the month, slowly rising around the 15th, 16th, but equally there around the 11th or 12th, turning more unsettled. So definitely not looking particularly great as we head through next week. But fingers crossed things do get better. Definitely turning a little bit milder, and definitely the warmth will build at the surface. The closer we get to sort of July and August, the peak time of the year for warmth. But it's all about that precipitation. as soon as we could see some milder air push in, it could just enhance the showers and give more widespread showery conditions. So we'll just have to wait and see. But for the time being, remaining fairly cool, remaining showery, could turn a bit more unsettled and slightly warmer into next week. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.